Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Quack&Co, the channel where everything is under 10 minutes all the time, every time. And this is everything you need to know about Marvel Zombies, at least what we know so far. I have 15 points to cover, which means we're going to have to jump straight into it because I only have 10 minutes to cover them. Starting off the bat, which is you are fighting as the zombies. You see, in Marvel Zombies, you'll have heroes and you'll have, well, superheroes, zombies, whatever it is. You'll have zombie heroes and non-zombie heroes. You are fighting as zombies. That is the main premise of here. You are not fighting as Captain America versus zombie Iron Man. You're fighting against zombie Iron Man against Captain America. Although, speaking of which, point number 2 is the fact that the zombies, the 6 core box zombies that you'll be fighting as, the characters you're playing as, are Captain America, Undeadpool, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Iron Man, and the Wasp. Those are the 6 zombie infected heroes that are the main characters that you'll be playing as instead of survivors. So you're playing as those 6 characters. Point number 3 is they have set upgrade tiers, unlike regular Zombicide, where you have these different options where, when you get escalate to orange or whatever, you get another action, then you get your choice of 2 oranges, then you get your choice of 3 reds. You will have set upgrade tiers, although they are more thematic and more importantly, they are printed on their stat cards. So you have Captain America with his zombie Captain America with his shield and some degree of fixed degree of escalation. So you don't get to choose the way your heroes upgrade, but they are more thematic and no more flipping to the back of the rulebook to figure out what's going on. Next up, we have the fact that the shield agents are the basic hordes. If you're fighting as Marvel Zombies, if you are zombie characters, zombie Captain America, well, who are you fighting against? Shield agents are the basic horde troops. You have trooper, guards, and specialists. Troopers are your basic walkers, guards are your tanks, and specialists are the runners. Little jetpacks on the back, flying around. They are the people that you're fighting against that you're basically chomping on because they are the primary food. As far as the general game, which Zombicide is most similar, this is going to be most similar to Invader in the main mechanics of the game, including the fact that there are more abominations on the board at any given time, and concentrated fire will be in place. So they're not going for the idea of you have the occasional abomination. Rather, they want abominations to be present, to be constantly spawning, to be constantly a threat, something new you have to deal with. But don't worry, you have the option to take them out. You have the option to take them out with concentrated fire to slowly take them down. And the abominations, those abominations you're fighting against, at least these 6 in the core box that we know so far, are Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Miss Marvel, Wanda, and Thor. Those are the 6 non-infected heroes that you are fighting against. Non-infected heroes, again, are abominations. Those are the ones that are equivalent to abominations. And they all come to play with their own different abilities. We don't know all the abilities just yet. We know that Doctor Strange will be like a constantly moving spawn point on the board, so even though he might be fairly easy to take him down, until you do take him down, he's effectively acting as a mobile spawn point to bring more shield agents into play, more threats that you, as zombie abominations, zombie survivors, have to take them out. We know that Wanda will be manipulating probability and manipulating your dice rolls, how they affect different things. So again, she might be easier to take down, but you have to be mindful of the fact that she is a constant threat to the general board state as long as she's in play. Miss Marvel will be a ranged character, being able to attack from zones away with her long extended fists or whatever it is. And then Black Panther and Thor are tougher heroes, and toughness is a factor here because although we have concentrated fire, which we've seen in Zombicide Invader and whatever Zombicides, although we have the concentrated fire, at the end of the day, the strength is different. You see, normally as a typical abomination has a strength level of 3, but over here in Marvel Zombies, we have strengths ranging from 2 to 5 for abominations. So some abominations will only be as difficult to kill as tanks. Others, like Thor, might be a 5 strength in abomination, meaning you need to either land whatever their equivalent of a dragon fire thing is on them, or alternatively, getting 5 hits in a single shot to take down Thor. Thor will be a constant threat, perhaps not through some magical ability, but just from the fact that he is a danger in and of himself. Next up, we have the fact that infected traits are what you find instead of weapons, the equivalent, because at the end of the day, when you have zombie Captain America lumbering around, he's not going to pick up some AK-47 and start shooting. So what do you have instead of searching for goods? You have the concept of infected traits, the idea of getting some sort of extra temporary ability, being able to lunge, extra movement, some sort of temporary or perhaps not temporary ability that will be in play, some degree of escalation to your actual characters, not so much gear that you are finding. But then not just temporary, we also have the concept of bystanders. Bystanders are acting kind of the equivalent of advanced weapons, experimental weaponry, pimp crates, all that stuff. We have bystanders, characters that will be such as, we'll get to the characters in a second, but bystanders are these assorted characters in the game that will stand on the board. They often will be related to objectives, or they just might be in the scenario, in the mission setup, but they will be characters that you chomp on, you eat them, and you get their abilities. You get some sort of magical, special, long-term ability because you ate a character. Weird, I know, but it works, and it gives us a different kind of Zombicide experience to go for. Those bystanders Bystanders that we have right now, and I think I'm missing one of them, but we have J. Jonah Jameson, we have Mary Jane Watson, we have Pepper Potts, we have Okoye, we have Sharon Carter, and something else. I don't know the sixth one, at least not in the core box, although this is Zombicide, this is CMON. There'll be plenty of stretch goals for all the things we talked about, from the zombies you're playing as, from the abominations you're fighting as, from the various bystanders. There'll be plenty of stuff, both in terms of optional buys and in stretch goals. As far as hunger is a new mechanic that's going to be in play. You are, after all, zombies. You are zombies that need to basically be eating to thrive, to stay alive, to do what you need to do, and so you're going to be using hunger as a risk-reward mechanic, similar to going insane in Cthulhu Death May Die. The idea that as you get more hungry, you will actually get stronger, being able to roll more attack dice because you're ravenous. You need to do what you need to do to eat what you need to eat, so being hungry is very helpful. Except for the fact that if you let yourself get too hungry, your hunger will override everything you need to do, and you will no longer be able to act with free will. You will have to hunt down and find the nearest food source. You will lose all sense of self-control. So hunger is a risk-reward mechanic similar to Insanity, Lost, and Death May Die, although very different at the same time. The map tiles will all be Marvel themed, so you'll have these fun little, Easter eggs of being able to see different aspects of your Marvel comics or your Marvel movies, whatever it is, all involved. Although don't ask how you have things like the Avengers Mansion suddenly across the street from the Sanctum Sanctorum. You'll just have those things. Don't worry about it. Just roll with it. Galactus will be an optional gameplay add-on. Optional is the key word because you can bet it will cost an extra chunk of money to get your hands on Galactus. But it'll be an optional gameplay add-on, some sort of world-eating zombie that will slowly eat the tiles around you. And it does have a swappable zombie head and arm, so you can swap it in and out depending on the player mode that you're going with. And Silver Surfer, we have already seen, has a zombie and a non-zombie version at play, which means we do have that equivalent. We don't know how far that expands as far as other characters, but we do know at least one character will have a zombie and a non-zombie version, 2 characters if you count Galactus. And then finally and importantly, despite everything I said at the beginning that you're fighting as zombies, we know that you can also fight as the heroes. Similar to Masters of the Universe from CMON as well, they are going with the swappable sides idea, the idea that both different sides can be at play. You can fight as the zombies, which seems to be the primary game mode, but in some way, shape, or form, you can also fight as heroes. What does that mean for the rest? We don't know that part yet. That part has not yet been revealed. Like I said, this is everything Marvel Zombies that we know so far, hitting all those main points that have been released in the video. I'll put down the video link down below. We don't know everything else. We know that this is CMON. We know that this is going to have a lot of stretch goals, a lot of optional buys. The all-in may well range something close to $400 or $500, especially once you factor in Marvel Galactus or Zombie Galactus, whatever it is. There'll be a lot going on. But don't worry, if you're interested in the game, the base pledge alone will give you plenty of gameplay. If you liked Zombicide in the past, this is giving you a lot of the same things, but a lot of different, which means whether you like Zombicide or not, this may or may not be a game that works for you. It may be too easy, it may be too different, it may be too new for better and for worse. Speaking for myself, as you probably know already, I'm incredibly excited. Make sure to subscribe for the channel for more updates as we find out more things as far as Marvel Zombies go. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Quack&Co, and I hope you have a good one.